5, 4, 3, 2.
Movie like rap down. Movie like rap down. Movie like rap down. Movie like rap down.
Hey, this is B-Movie Mike, and as promised, this video contains my review of 2012's Maniac. Maniac was directed by Frank Calfoun and stars Elijah Wood and Nora Arneiser. The story of Maniac centers around a man named Frank Zito. Frank lives and works at a mannequin restoration store that he inherited from his deceased mother. Unfortunately, that is not all his abusive former prostitute mother left him with, because Frank now hunts and kills women that remind him of his neglectful mother. Frank is so mentally and emotionally unhinged that he scalps his victims and then tacks their scalps onto the heads of his favorite mannequins, who he believes are alive. One day, Frank meets a beautiful photographer named Anna, and they strike up a friendship that at first seems to pull Frank out of his shell. But unfortunately, it does nothing to stop his murderous ways. After Frank begins to fall in love with Anna, he learns that she has a boyfriend, and that she apparently only befriended him because she assumed that he was gay. This, of course, causes Frank to completely lose whatever sanity he had left, as the film careens toward its bloody conclusion. This film is, of course, a remake of the film Maniac that was released in 1980, and I will have to say that it does a great job of sticking to the original story, while adding a few surprisingly effective twists of its own. The main difference is that this film is shot primarily from the character Frank's point of view. And because of this, we mostly only see Frank in the reflection of a mirror or a window. And this turns out to be a cool gimmick that really adds to the visceral quality of the film. Not only do we get to see the world through Frank's eyes, but we're also privy to the madness going on inside of his mind, as he stalks and kills his victims. This gives us an understanding of why Frank does what he does. And even though his actions are disturbing, the film allows us to feel pity for Frank, as he deals with the regret and the disgust that he feels after he murders someone. The direction and cinematography really bring the story to life, and allow the point of view gimmick to actually add depth and power to the story. The lighting, sound design, and locations also bring the altered reality of Frank's bizarre world to ultra-violent life. The special makeup effects are handled by KNB, and for the most part, they're practical. I did, however, spot several instances of unnecessary and distractingly bad CGI enhancement during some of the effect sequences. I was, however, pleasantly surprised that the amount of violence and gore contained in this remake almost rivaled the original film. I consider this to be very impressive considering that Tom Savini provided the original film with some very cool and over-the-top gore effects. The acting by the leads is top-notch, and even though Elijah Wood is no Joe Spinell, he definitely surprised me with his fascinating take on the Frank Zito character. When I first heard that they were going to remake the classic cult thriller Maniac and have Frodo Baggins play the main character of Frank Zito, it would be a tremendous understatement to say that I was completely underwhelmed. In fact, I believe I actually laughed out loud when I thought about how large of a train wreck that this film could turn out to be. That being said, I'm happy to report that against all odds, the creative powers behind this film just may have created one of the best modern horror remakes of all time. Trust me when I say that this is a sentence that I never ever thought I would ever hear myself say, because as a rule, most remakes are an insult to the original source material. That, however, is not true in this case. And therefore, if you're a fan of the original film, or just gory horror films in general, I can highly recommend that you check out the remake of Maniac. Well, this concludes my review of 2012's Maniac. And I'll be back next week with my review of the 2013 remake of The Evil Dead. Until then, please check out all the awesome YouTube channels located in the More Channels of Movie Madness section on my YouTube channel. And also don't forget to tune in to The Sausage Factory, live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. On the Sausage Factory YouTube channel. Well, that's all there is for this week. I'll see you later, and as always, thanks for watching.